Notifications. Swipe up with 3 fingers to reveal it. Return to Siri. Return to Siri. Wait for people to arrive. Or add room chat. Button. Wait for people to arrive. Or add friends to get the room started sooner. Ellipsis.
Please stand by. We will begin in about 15 minutes.
Room chat. Button. Party. Chris Peterson. Room moderator. Room actions. Chris Peterson. Room moderator. Followed by the speakers. Chris Peterson. Room. Followed. Mary Stores. Room chat. But. Mary Stores. Followed by the speakers. Chris Peterson. Followed. Mary Stores. Him Peaceful Sound Garden. We see better. 0 room. Invite to speak. Button. Talk live. Voice message. Button. Talk live. Invite to speak. Button. Photo of penny forward. Leave quietly. But. Chevron down. Leave. Penny. Financial sense. Room actions. Chris Peterson. Room. Followed by the speakers. Photo of penny forward. Penny forward. Attachment. PNG. File. Photo of penny. Penny. Financial sense. Room actions. Chris Peterson. Mary Stores. Room chat. Mary Stores. Speaker.
Hello, Mary.
Hello, Chris.
We will be starting in, what is it? 13 minutes.
Okay.
So,
Whiskers says hello. He's walking around.
hi, Whiskers. And everything's working tonight. I have the stream running on Facebook and YouTube, and Clubhouse is working.
Yay.
Zoom is working. All the technology is working.
Maybe you should go out and buy a lottery ticket after this and press your luck.
That's a good idea.
It might hold.
Yeah. That's a really good idea. When I was at the NFB of Indiana State Convention, one of the door prizes was a lottery ticket.
I think that's a pretty good door prize, right?
Yeah. I think it came with other things, but a lottery ticket was one of the, like, part of the package. I thought that was cool.
HelloFresh had a meatloaf burrito bowl meal. So I made that this evening.
Oh, that sounds pretty good. What did it have in it?
Just like beef and cilantro and salsa and those crispy onion things, fried or whatever you call those. I can't remember what you call those. And I can't remember everything. I just chopped it all up, and then it had like a lemony cilantro rice, and yeah, you mix it all together.
Sounds good. Do you how do you get the directions for those?
I go online to the HelloFresh website.
Okay.
Because the app really sucks.
Okay.
So But most of the time now, I mean, the HelloFresh directions are pretty standard. Almost always. I think I've only ever had one meal where you don't preheat your oven to 425 and put your, racks in the centermost positions or whatever. And
Mhm.
then your next direction is always wash and peel off produce. And your last direction is, plate and serve. So
Yeah. Hello, Anne on Zoom. We'll be starting in 9 minutes.
Chris Peterson. Mary Stores. Room chat. Button. Mary Stores. Room. Share room. Room. Mary Stores.
And Kat Botner's in Zoom too, but she doesn't have any audio connected. So she must have just wanted to put one foot in the door so it wouldn't close on her or something. You're just tuning in to one of the live streams and wondering why there's silence and just a picture of the Penny Forward webpage on the screen. We will be getting started at the bottom of the hour in about 8 minutes now.
Chris, I am here now.
Welcome, Liz.
I am not a mod though, so if you want to fix that,
Chris Peters. Mary Stores. Liz Bodmer.
Yep.
Sleeper.
that will have to be fixed.
Sheet grabber. Button. Make a moderator. Button.
Done.
Dismiss.
And thank
Button.
you.
Speech off.
hello.
Hello, Mary.
Welcome, Brandon. And welcome, Catherine. It looks like you're in here now. And welcome to Penny Forward, which I'm assuming is Mo.
It is me.
I'm going to rename you.
Oh, I can do it.
I know.
I just got my Bluetooth on.
Oh, okay.
Audio now unmuted. Hey, Chris.
Hey, Brandon.
Hey.
We'll be starting in 6 minutes now. Hi, Teresa.
There's a Teresa.
To a man. It doesn't matter. Hey, buddy, like mom and daddy over. Yeah, it's like a Pittsburgh. Okay, that razzles my berry.
Leave.
We'll be getting started in about 5 minutes.
Yes,
There we go. Hi.
Hi, Teresa.
Bye. How many we have on Zoom?
On 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6 on Zoom and a couple on Clubhouse.
Just 8 participants
So far,
so far.
still got 4 minutes till we get started.
Okay.
And people like to be fashionably late.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Who's running Clubhouse?
Liz is.
Oh, Liz. Oh, okay.
Rick Wills has joined the meeting alert.
Oh, there's a Rick. Rick Wills. Now we have 7 on Zoom, don't we?
We do.
Hi, everybody.
Hey, Rick.
Hello.
Were people asking about Clubhouse? I'm sorry, I was inviting potential relevant people.
Oh, people, someone asked who was running Clubhouse.
Oh, yes. I got that part. I just didn't know if anything else had been asked. Good. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay.
And welcome to those of you on Zoom.
Hello.
Thank you for being here.
So before the meeting, this is like our pre-game show, huh?
Yeah, it is. We're all streaming in places and making sure that the technology works. There's on the live stream, I'm showing a copy of the post that announces what we'll be talking about, and I'll turn that off when we get started. Yeah, so this is the pregame.
Yeah. Y'all must do y'all pre-game show 15 minutes early, don't you? Or 30 minutes early, don't you?
Try to.
Okay.
Try to make sure that we have all the things working.
Okay.
It's a little complicated, you know, getting Zoom and Clubhouse connected to each other and then setting up the streams and stuff. And just
Yeah,
in case something goes wrong, we want to make sure that we have some time to fix it if we can.
Yeah, because if you're not careful enough, some people just burst right in and
Yeah.
I have to compliment you, all of you powers that be, if you will, at putting all this together and making it run so seamlessly every time. I'm amazed.
Live
Thank you.
transcription.
Well,
Closing
thank you.
has been enabled.
We really appreciate that.
Press
Yeah,
F6
no,
for
and
more
I mean that
information
to
about
be able to
this transcript alert.
get all these streams live and synced up and
live closed
It's just-
captioning's been enabled. Sounds like it.
6:30 p.m.
Oh, 6:30.
I still have 6:29.
Oh, okay. Well,
But why don't you go ahead and mute, Brandon?
okay.
Yep. So, okay, now it did turn over to 6:30. Good evening. Let me get my video turned on here. I want to make sure my video is actually started. I think it is. Let me just check. Yep, I got video on. All right, good evening, everybody. This is Financial Sense, a monthly program produced and presented by Penny Forward. Penny Forward is a nonprofit organization led and founded by blind people. Through education, mentoring, and mutual support, we help blind people navigate the complicated landscape of personal finance. We offer a great website and an easy-to-use app, and through those you can access our blog, our podcast, our self-paced online courses, our monthly member meetups, our weekly paid members only group chats, and one-on-one financial counseling. And we're adding more as time goes on. To learn more about us, if you haven't heard about us before and you're just noticing us for the first time, best place to start is to visit us at our website, which is www.pennyforward.com. And if you'd like more information by phone, you can give us a call at 1-888-332-5558. Again, that number is 1-888-332-5558. We have a topic of the evening, but typically we start out with some Penny Forward news. So we'll be doing that. We on our podcast right now are featuring a two-part series with Dan Spoon and Swatha Nandakumar from the American Council of the Blind, talking about the 51-year history of the fight for accessible currency. We're expecting to see the first accessible banknotes come out in the United States in 2026, just 3 short years from now. We hope they're short anyway, but it's taken us 51 years to get this far. And if you want to know all of the details behind why that was the case, and if you have an interest in learning how banknotes are made, check out the Penny Forward podcast. Again, that's pennyforward.com is the website. Pennyforward.com/podcast is the podcast page. We also just released last night our new strategic plan for 2024 rather, through 2026. After a 3-week-long community engagement summit in September, the board and our facilitator, Jeremy Grandstaff, who we appreciate very much, got together and finalized our strategic plan. Excuse me, and it's up on the website now, although there is still some minor editing and formatting being done to it, which we hope to have completed by the end of the month. But if you want an early peek at it, you can go to www.pennyforward.com/strategy and view the strategic plan. The content won't change. We're just working on making sure that it's clean of typos, getting it laid out nicely, and so forth. So with that strategic plan, we are in the process of forming action teams, which we will use to put that strategy into action. The Penny Forward board consists of 6 blind people right now. All of us have day jobs and other commitments. We sit on other boards and do other things. So we could really use help in 3 main areas. Developing content that's coming up with topics for things like this program, the podcast, the online courses, the members only group chats, et cetera, and even delivering content if that is your thing, or editing it, or proofreading it, or somehow presenting it. Content is one of the big areas we could use your help in. Communications. Really would like some help getting the word out. We're growing fast. We've doubled our membership between 2022 when we launched and right now in 2023. We've over doubled our membership, but we don't want to stop there. So if communications is your thing, and you feel like you can help us to get the word out about Penny Forward or get our content onto places that it might not have been on before, such as radio reading services, other internet radio stations, things like that. We would love to have you join the content action team. And finally, and some people might think this is the most boring one, but some people really love it, is the finance and operations team, or just the operations team, if you will. It is going to be responsible for things like ensuring that we have enough money to put all of our other action plans in place. And so along with the communications team, the finance and operations team will be responsible for helping us fundraise, both by reaching out to possible grantors for grant funding, and also by holding fundraisers that you can participate in as the general public to help us to proceed forward. It'll also be responsible for sort of the day-to-day operations of Penny Forward until we can bring on a larger staff that can do some of that stuff. So we need help with administering the server that runs the website, administering the Office 365 account that runs our email services and so forth, and other technology related things, social media related things like setting up a Mastodon account is one of our to-dos here that we would like to get started on at some point soon. All of these types of things fall under operations. So if this sounds like something you'd be willing to help out with, we'd love to have you join the operations action team. We'll be putting up forms that you can fill out to join those teams, and better descriptions of the teams in the near future. But for now, if you feel like you would like to join one of those teams, please send an email to pennyforward@pennyforward.com and let us know that. And we will make sure that we get you connected with the team leaders who are all Penny Forward board members, and start to form groups to do all the things. Our next monthly member meetup is going to be on the first Monday in November. That is open to guest members and paid members. And if I am not mistaken, yeah, I am mistaken. That will be November 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, November 6th, if I am not mistaken. So November 6th at 5 p.m. Eastern, and we usually go an hour, and it's pretty informal. We just chat. Sometimes the conversation turns to financial stuff, sometimes it doesn't. It's a great opportunity for you to get connected to the Penny Forward community and to learn what we're about, and to ask questions in sort of an informal way if you want to do that. We're also doing a book read along this month. The book is called You Are a Badass at Making Money, and it's by Jen Sincero. It's available on Bard and Audible and other places in accessible formats. It's not a very long book. It's a very entertaining book. And whether making money is your goal, or becoming employed, or just becoming more self-confident, it's a good read. We will be discussing that book at our members only group chat on November 1st. And usually we do that when we have a month with 5 Wednesdays in it. That would have been in November, but we felt that because of the holiday season, we wanted to push it forward by 1 month, because things kind of get busy during the holiday season. Again, the book is called You Are a Badass at Making Money by Jen Sincero, and that is available in accessible formats, and the book discussion will be held on November 1st. That's available to our paid members. I hear someone unmuted, so I wonder if somebody has a comment that they would like to make or ask a question. No? Okay. Very good. I am now going to open it up just because I usually miss things to Mo and Liz. Mo or Liz, can you think of anything that I might have missed in the realm of penny forward news?
Not at this time.
Mo?
I was checking our live feeds, so I might have missed some things. Did you mention the conventions we will be attending?
Thank you. We have been attending a lot of conventions, and we will be attending 2 more in the next few weeks. The American Council of the Blind of Washington, and Mo will be attending that. So Mo, why don't you talk about that? Sorry, I didn't mean to
That
put
will
you on the
be
spot.
I just took a sip of water. That was the only issue. That will be on October 26th and 27th for the vendor hall or exhibitor hall. And I will be there from the 25th through the morning, the very early morning of the 27th. So that's Saturday. I think that was the right days. No, 28th is Saturday. Sorry. Trying to do this off the top of my head, but come see me there. The Thursdays in the afternoon, and I don't remember the times for Friday.
Great.
I have to look that up, but yeah.
I actually will not be there for Penny Forward, but I will be virtually attending that convention on the 28th as an invited panelist on a presentation thing. So
Oh, interesting.
I'm sure I'll find a way to plug Penny Forward.
Yeah. What is your panel that you're speaking on?
It is on jobs that blind people do. That is the title that was given.
That's a great topic.
It is.
I love that. Okay. Well, Liz and Mo will both be there. We will also be attending the National Federation of the Blind of Virginia State Convention. That is the next weekend. So it's the November 3rd, 4th, and 5th, I believe, in Williamsburg, Virginia. And Jeremy Grandstaff and Naeem Abu El Hawa will be representing us there. So stop by and say hello to them.
That is also when the clocks go back an hour for us. So just FYI.
Good.
As a fair warning.
Good. Yes. We'll be falling back.
Yes.
Yep. And then Liz will be attending, not for Penny Forward, but I'm sure she'll get a chance to plug us there. The Assistive Technology Conference in New York that's being done by the New York, was it the Braille and Talking Book Library?
The New York Public Library. Yeah, the Andrew Haskell Braille and Talking Book Library.
Yeah. So talk about
weekend.
that.
That is, it's the first time that they're doing it. It's a regional kind of a thing they want to kind of do. And it's an accessible technology conference. There are different types of presentations on all facets of technology, whether it's artificial intelligence, accessibility, things that you do with your iPhone. So that is happening this weekend. I'm going for my day job, but yes, I'm sure I will be able to mention Penny Forward. Also, I did forget to mention Penny Forward will be virtually exhibiting at the Accessible Pharmacy Blind Health Expo that takes place on December 1st and December 2nd, Friday and Saturday, but we are only going to be doing the exhibitor portion on the 1st. So, but I just wanted to mention that just for Penny Forward's sake, but also for anyone else who might be interested. From the exhibitor list that I saw last year, it seemed like it was very well attended. So for anyone who might want information on what services and information is out there, I would encourage anyone to register. It is a free event. So that is all I have.
Great. Thanks, Liz. And finally, Penny Forward will be attending the Association for Financial Counseling and Planning Education Symposium in New Orleans. And that will also be the first weekend in December. So if you happen to be there, stop by and say hi. All right, on to the topic of the day. many people in the blind community have trouble finding employment, and some people try their hand at starting businesses as a way to make extra money, either to supplement their Social Security income or to replace it. And there have been many different ways that blind people have tried to do this, including setting up their own businesses, as well as participating in direct selling for established businesses. Some of the common ones are Tupperware, Amway, Pampered Chef, Color Street, doTERRA, and others. And so we wanted to talk tonight about your experiences with direct selling, either as a customer of those businesses or as a person who has run one of those businesses. And we're interested in this for a few reasons. Not all of these opportunities are created equal. Some require you to sell quite a bit before you actually get paid. Others will cut you a check for even a few dollars if you make just one or two sales in the first few days or the first month. Some require you to buy their products, and some do not. Many require you to pay a regular fee in order to put up a website or some other presence that exposes your business online. But not everybody does, and not every business is going to succeed online. One of the common themes, though, is that there is some expectation that you sell to your family and friends, and that you try to get your family and friends to sign up to sell as well. And when they do that, you, as their upline, will receive some portion of their sales. So people who are very close to the top of the pyramid, sometimes these are called pyramid schemes, tend to be the ones that make the most money, while people who are just starting out at the very bottom of the pyramid tend to be the people that make the least amount of money. Now, the Federal Trade Commission has been investigating these types of businesses for years. And while it has declared some of them to be scams, it hasn't specifically declared the idea of multi-level marketing or direct selling to be a scam. It does, however, point out that only about 2% of the people that participate in this type of business model actually make money at it, and that some portion of the other 98% actually lose money by participating in these types of businesses. How did these things get started? Well, way back in the early 20th century, there were companies that tended to market toward products to women. And at that time, many women were stay-at-home moms or housewives. And so door-to-door salespeople would come to their home and knock on the door and offer them products that would make their lives easier. Sometimes those products were vitamins. Sometimes those products were personal care products. Sometimes they were kitchen products like Tupperware. And that's how these companies made money. Well, at some point, some companies figured out that the women themselves had extra time, particularly during the day when the kids were at school and their husbands were at work, to sell some of these items themselves. And so the idea of the sales party kind of came about. Many people have probably been to something like a Tupperware party, and these kinds of things were very popular because people were getting together at each other's homes during the day anyway. And so they would get together and show off some of the things that they had been able to do with their Tupperware or their great skincare products that they had, or makeup or whatever, and their friends would buy from them. At the time, many of these products were sold in what we now would call single level marketing, meaning that there was no concept of an upline. You simply signed on to sell to your family and friends, and you got a portion of the sale, and that's how you made your money. And many people were happy with that because it paid enough to give them a little bit of extra spending money, and it was a very social activity. You know, of course, if you're a stay-at-home housewife and you happen to know a lot of other stay-at-home housewives, you become very good at understanding what they want and what they need. And so, you know, you can market those types of products because you actually use them. At some point, then the idea came about that people could make more money if they were able to convince other people to sign on and sell too. And that's where we get the concept of multi-level marketing from. And most companies now use some variation of multi-level marketing. This isn't necessarily just a phenomenon that occurs in consumer goods. Interestingly enough, a lot of financial services companies use a similar concept where a financial advisor, for example, may earn commissions or fees for selling their products. And they may also earn bonuses for other financial advisors coming on and working with them as a part of their team, or sometimes underneath them, depending on the structure of the company. So this can be sort of and people consider financial advisory to be a legitimate career path, right? So this can be a legitimate method of compensation, but it's very difficult sometimes to tell when it's legitimate and when it's maybe a little bit shady. And so I'm hoping that some of you will be able to talk about your experiences with some of these companies and describe what you liked about the process, but what you didn't like about the process as well. In our family, we, I can't tell whether Kelly's on right at the moment, but we have sold some Tupperware and also some Color Street nails. And so we have some perspective in our family as well. But that is the topic for tonight. So we're on Zoom and we're on Clubhouse. And Mo, I'm about to turn it over to you to give everybody the instructions for how to work with Zoom. When you're done with that, I'm going to have you turn it over to Liz, and she will give the ground rules for working with Clubhouse. And we will do our best to rotate back and forth and have a lively discussion between the Zoom and the Clubhouse rooms. And for your awareness, we are also streaming this conversation live on Facebook and on our YouTube channel. Okay, Mo, take it away, please.
Which are both working for once. Both
Yay.
our live streams. For on a normal touch tone telephone, you will hit the *9 to raise your hand. You will hit *6 to mute and unmute, and all of the Zoom commands are toggles. So you do it once to raise your hand and do it again to lower your hand, but I will take care of lowering your hand. But that is how you would mute and unmute. To do the same on a normal PC, you will use Alt-A to mute and unmute and Alt-Y to raise your hand. And then on the Mac, you use Options-Y to raise and lower your hand, and Command Shift A to mute and unmute. And then on a phone, it's a guessing game. Usually your mute button is down in the lower left part of the screen, and the reactions menu has the raise and lower your hand option.
Great, thank you, Mo. And now Liz, tell us about Clubhouse.
Sure. Also, a little bit of a tip to Zoom. If you don't have a reactions menu, I think some people still don't for whatever reason. That option is usually in your More tab, but I also have seen it on the main screen. So pick one, I guess, and see which applies to your situation. The Zoom gremlins are constantly changing things, as well as breaking things in Zoom. Anyway, that is a topic for not now. In Clubhouse, to raise your hand, as it were, there is a button near the bottom of your screen labeled and named Request to Speak. Activate that, and then you will be brought up on stage. When you are on stage, you will be muted, which I kindly ask that you stay muted until we ask for participants. And if you would like to speak, please state in when we get to the Clubhouse portion, since I at that point don't have any idea of anyone's hand is raised and there might be multiple people on stage muted at any one time. If you could just please say your name, I will recognize you and then you can speak. And then when you are on stage muted, that button that previously was the Request to Speak button then turns into your mute unmute toggle. And I'll turn it back over to Chris.
Okay, thank you, Liz. And don't worry if you state your name while somebody else is talking, as long as the person who's talking is coming through Zoom, which can be a little bit difficult. But I can mute Clubhouse while I'm talking or while somebody is talking on Zoom, so that if you want to be recognized as the next person, you can go ahead and state your name during that time without feeling like you're going to interrupt the whole flow of the show. And know that we'll announce which room we're taking calls from. So I will rotate between Zoom and Clubhouse. I'm going to start with Zoom though, so get your hands raised. And again, we're talking about direct selling and multi-level marketing, and what your experiences have been with that, either good or bad. I haven't noticed any hands raised in Zoom yet, but I'll turn it over to Mo just to see if there are any hands raised. And Mo, do you have anything personally to share with regard to this topic?
I have a tiny bit, but I have a dog that wants to go outside, and we do not have any hands currently in Zoom. So if you give me about 2 minutes, I'll be back.
All right. Very good. Let Mo take care of the dog then. Liz, has anyone spoken up over on the Clubhouse side?
Yes, we do have Nikki on stage. So Nikki, if you would like to speak, you may. Welcome. Thank you for being here.
Thank you. I'm Nikki Kobe, and I'm glad to, thanks for giving us a chance to share our experience. So my experience is with doTERRA, which is an essential oil company. And my experience, I did not get started to have any attempt to make money. I got started for the reason of personal health challenges, and I loved essential oils, and I loved my experience. But then I talked about essential oils so much that I had a friend that decided to enroll, and it was like, this is really stupid. If my friend is enrolling, why not make a little bit of money? So I've had a few people enroll under me, and I'll say the nice, so I'm gonna kind of, I guess, address some of the comments that you made about the different good and bad things about them. If that is okay. So basically, one thing is, yes, you do have to be buying product. But I was already buying that much. So everything is based on PV, which is product volume. I won't go into the whole deal with that because it depends on the product you buy. All of this stuff. I don't totally, like I said, I won't go into all that. But so you have to be buying 100 PV worth of product each month to get your whatever money you were earning. So like if you had a month where you just couldn't do that, you wouldn't stop being a wellness advocate, but you would you wouldn't get your money. The nice thing is when someone enrolls under you, you get for the first 2 months 20% of what they spend. So you do get that money right away, and you do get some money based on what your team volume, your overall volume of what your what the people under you, your downline, are spending. The I guess downside is, of course, I'll be honest, I am not making more at this time than I'm spending, but on the upside, I'm getting a little bit. The other thing is, yeah, you know what? You do make more money the more people you have, and the bigger your tree or pyramid is. So like the people, my understanding is that like if I have a wellness advocate under me and they have someone under them, I actually get a bit more percentage wise from the person under them than I do from them. And then it is also kind of they have what they call the power of 3. So if you have 3 wellness advocates under you doing 100 PV, then you get $50 in addition to what the percentage of you're getting based on your team volume. And then if each of those 3 people have 3 under them, then you get a $250. And if you go down with the 3 people that are under your top 3 people, then you'd get $1,500. I have not even gotten to the $50 level because I'm not really like, I don't push the essential oils. You can't be around, let's face it, I know for a fact that Chris, you and Liz can state for a fact that you can't be around me without hearing how much I love the essential oils. But I also am not the type that's going to be like, oh, you should buy these. I kind of wait for people to come to me. I have started blogging and doing Facebook and Twitter stuff on essential oils and talking about the different products because I decided I wanted to do that and that I'd enjoy doing it anyway. And I'm hoping that it does get to a point where it makes me some money, but it would be a lot of work to get to the point where I'm earning a lot of money. And so that's my basic experience with it. I would say I enjoy it, but would I say, oh yeah, you can make money easily? No. And they don't really, there was never any expectation that said, oh yeah, you can make a lot of money, which I like that part. And what I liked was also just the, some of the ethical stuff that goes into it, which I realize this is not a place to plug the product, so I won't go into that. But I will say for me, it's been a really enjoyable experience. And
Do you want to give out your website though? Because you can.
actually, if you don't mind, I would love to. So my website is, I don't know if my blog would be the easiest. I have a link tree. That's where a lot of my stuff is. So it's linktr.ee/NICKIECOBY. Or my blog does have a link to the link tree, so that may be easier. It is NICKIESOILS.com. So Nickie'sOils.com. And there are a lot of links, especially on the link tree, to my various doTERRA products and my book. So yeah. Thank you for letting me share. And do you have any questions? Anything I missed?
So can I just ask, have you actually received any money? I know you said you weren't making more than you were spending, but have you received money?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, every month.
Every month.
I'm getting probably, it depends. I would say, so not counting the 20%, when people enrolled, I would say I get anywhere between $5 and $14. Right now, that's what I'm getting. But I know that, the more people I have and the higher amount of team volume I have, the more I'll get. I think I get probably about 1%. Or no, let's see, that can't be accurate. Yeah, actually, I think it's about 1% of my team volume right now.
And how long have you been doing this?
I became a wellness advocate right around this time last year.
Okay.
But I did not start trying to really sell anything until probably April of this year, April or May. I think May is when I started my link tree and my blog.
Okay.
So that being said, I have been very verbal about my oils, as you know.
Well, you have, but that's because they've helped you with a lot of things. And
yes.
And that's one of the things I really enjoy reading your blog, because you talk about how they've helped you, and you give people some really good tips for how to work with essential oils non-visually. So there's a lot of good education there. And I think there is a key to being successful at something like this. One of the keys is to stick with it. And another key is to pick something that you're really enthusiastic about, and that, you can really express some passion about without it feeling like you're selling, as it were.
Yeah, that's the key. I think, like, that you can be real about it, your friends are going to hear about it. And if they buy something, and they might buy something from you, but they can hear about it being your passion without feeling like you're trying to shove it down their throat.
Thank you, Nikki. I'm seeing a raised hand over in Zoom. So Mo, who do we have over in Zoom?
We had two, but Jeremy lowered his, but we'll put him on the spot anyways. And Nikki, if you want to send me your links through Messenger, I'll make sure when we get the recording of this posted that they're attached to the post.
Okay. So I'm being put on the spot. Here we
You
go.
are. Yeah.
What am I talking about?
Direct selling.
Oh yeah. Okay. So I've got some really interesting experience, both bad and good, on these types of efforts. And I struggle a little bit with the phrase multi-level marketing. I get that's what it is, right? And I have totally, by the way, been in companies that are multi-level marketing, and they're not set up well. And so my advice to everybody is really read any agreement you sign, right? And really understand what it is you're getting into, what that comp structure looks like. You want to make sure that it's worth it for you. I've also been in insurance, which gets coined as multi-level marketing. Companies like Primerica or even other insurance companies. And really it's because they are structured so that people are getting overrides if you report into their structure. Technically, that is considered multi-level marketing, but it has a very different aspect to it. And so there's lots of great opportunity that exists if you get into the right one. And the best advice that I have that I wish I would have done with some of the bad ones that I got involved in, Chris, is I wish that I would have actually talked to like 5 different people on 5 different levels of the company first before doing it. I am because I got burned a couple times. And by the way, if you're getting burned, you need to tell somebody, you need to report it. That's what the Better Business Bureau is there for. So they can be good. You know, I will. And it's so funny, Chris, because I just heard you say to Nikki, I was glancing. I'm using that term figuratively, by the way, as a blind person, but I was glancing through your blog. Love it. And I love that, you know, it's really about whole wellness for you. Right. And so you're not coming across as salesy. You have to be really careful in these type of situations. Most of them are sales jobs. And by the way, if your friends think that every time they talk to you, you're going to try to sell them something, it's not going to work. So just, you know, be really conscious of that. Don't pressure people, but make it something that you can give them a whole new world in. Make it something that is exciting for you, and therefore it's exciting for them. And I think that you know, like I said, talk to people in the company before just taking the first hook, line, and sinker, and make sure that you can really stand behind the product and the public opinion of the company, but also, you know, make sure you're reading any agreements that you sign and that you fully understand. And if it doesn't make sense to you, ask the questions. The worst thing they're going to do is refuse to answer your question. At that point, you're going to walk away. Chris, I hope this has been helpful. I'm trying not to be the naysayer. I'm really just trying to be cautious.
Yeah, thank you, Jeremy. Since we had 2 hands raised in Zoom, I'm going to go to the other one now. Mo, who is that?
We have Teresa Christian.
Teresa, go ahead.
And now we have
Experience.
Janine as well, but
okay,
we can go to Clubhouse.
Yeah,
first.
we'll switch over to Clubhouse after Teresa.
So, Jeremy, what you were saying is spot on, and I wish I had had that wisdom when I was younger, because I tended to be pretty impulsive. Sounds good, let's go. And so I was trying to write down all the ones that I could remember that I've been in, and it's been 9. I'm in one right now, but I'm not trying to sell with it. the one I'm in now, I'm liking the best out of all the ones that I've been in the past. And a couple of them I stayed in, a fair amount of time, but never made, much money at all. And it was always very frustrating to me because before, things were really getting done on the web a lot, there would always be all this paperwork that needed to get filled out and forms and whatnot. And, I couldn't do that. And, and then they would always do this kind of complicated comp plan and do it on the chalkboard. And again, can't really access it. And it just felt too complicated to completely understand the whole thing. I could get like the first little bit of it, and then it would go over my head. And then when websites started becoming a thing, a lot of them did not have accessible websites or partly accessible websites. So I always found that really frustrating too. And another piece that I always found frustrating is they wanted you to get really, really excited, and your excitement would tell everything, and just like tell everybody, and yeah, you wear out your family and friends after a couple times, and they're like, no, don't even talk to me about it. So I got pretty discouraged about doing that and swore off of it. And then a couple of years ago, my daughter got me into one, and the only reason I did it was because of my daughter. And, that one ended up being like really just high prices and great products, but the prices were just way too high. So again, after that one, I'm like, no, I'm done. And here about 6 months ago, a really good friend of mine that I trust, showed this one to me, and like, okay, well, I'll get in, I'll try the products. We'll see if I like it. I'm going to check this out thoroughly before I think about telling anybody about it. And it's affordable supplements, and I've taken supplements for years, and some of them are really high priced. Some of them aren't. Some of them are good. Some of them are not. These I'm liking. The website is completely accessible. They're very I know that another piece of the whole thing was that I kind of started to say and didn't finish saying, is they don't really train you very well how to sell. And if you're not naturally good at it, that's another reason that I think people aren't successful. And that certainly was one of the components for me not being successful. And then, like I said, the one that I'm in now, the website, I keep looking around trying to find somewhere on the website that is not accessible, and it's accessible. It's affordable. You don't have to, buy a certain amount every month. You don't have to get people on auto ship. All the things that are negatives aren't there in this one. But like I said, I've been taking the supplements for 6 months. I have not attempted to sell anything. And, kind of the way I feel about this one is if, I'm sharing because I love it and somebody happens to get interested, fine, but I'm not going to try to twist anybody's arm or, any of that stuff because it doesn't work. So that's been my experience with all of that stuff. So yeah, a lot of it's been pretty negative.
Well, thanks, Teresa.
Yeah.
Do you want to give Mo your contact information if people are interested in supplements and they want to talk to you about your experiences?
Sure. Yeah.
Okay. Send her an email.
Okay.
And let her know how people can get in touch with you.
I will do that.
Okay. And thanks for telling us the good and the bad.
Sure.
I know Janine's got her hand raised. I am going to just take a quick check over in Clubhouse to see who might be over there. Liz, we got anyone over there?
We don't have any new people, but Nikki is still on stage. I don't know, Nikki, if you wanted to respond to anything that had been said.
Otherwise, I have a couple things to say too.
Or that too.
You can go,
yeah.
Nikki.
Oh, okay. One thing I kind of forgot to mention that's pretty cool with doTERRA is some people struggle with their website. But the cool thing is they have something called specific services, And if you are blind, you can call. They will help you with your with the website. I've called because when I got a diffuser, I was like, okay, how do I use it? They went through the instructions with me. They also will provide Braille product information pages. So we're working with them. There are some areas where we're still working with them and we're like, hey, you need to work on making this more accessible. But I love the fact that they actually do have people that you can talk with. So yeah, I love that part. But yeah, I'm eager to hear what Kelly has to say too.
Go ahead,
Go
Kelly.
ahead, Kelly.
Okay, I don't have a whole lot to say. Chris alluded to the fact that I have tried Tupperware and Color Street. I did Tupperware for not very long. When, gosh, it was not too long after we got married. I think I did that, and I only I worked underneath somebody who's really a popular seller of Tupperware, and she did a lot of parties and things like that. And she helped me do a kickoff party, which was fun. But I just didn't feel like it was my thing. So I never even got cut a check, I don't think, from Tupperware. I bought the welcome, the kit to get started. I think that was like $100 at the time, maybe a little bit more. So I got a bunch of free product that I still use, but I didn't end up selling, and only was a part of that for probably less than a year, I would say. And then more recently, I tried Color Street. We have a friend who sells Color Street, and I was buying nails from her, and I thought, hey, I'm buying enough product that maybe if I work underneath her, then at least I can make some money. And so I never had any parties or never really sold to anyone else, but I bought stuff for myself. The thing with Color Street nails is that you have to pay, I think it's around $10 a month for your website. And so I would buy enough to make even with that. And I did get a couple of checks from them. They weren't huge, like $20 at the most. But I wasn't using it enough to justify paying $10 a month for the website. So I ended up stopping that. So I would say for me, I'm not a salesperson. So like I would tell people about Color Street because I really liked wearing them myself, but I wasn't pushy about it. And so for me, I would never have been able to make a lot of money doing it because I just am not that type of person. So.
Well, thanks, Kelly. I think then we'll switch back over to Zoom. And Janine has had her hand raised for quite a while. So go ahead, Janine.
Yes, I'm tired of my arms are tired.
I'm so sorry. Your shoulders.
Exercise.
Yeah.
Okay. So I have done a bunch of different programs and different I didn't even know it was MLM until Monica and I were speaking about that because I didn't know what that term was because we didn't call it that, 20 years ago. So I've tried different things. I've done Pampered Chef. Pampered Chef was good, but the problem with that is I just wanted that to buy things at a discount for myself. Tupperware, I did some and I sold to people, but again, I just did that for myself. My family was very, very good with Melaleuca, and that paid a lot. Like we had my step grandmother was really high in that, and then she put me under her and other people, and so that went really well. But my favorite one that I did was Simply Fun. It's a board game company. And the way that I chose to market for myself is go to daycares and talk to at-home parents, people who wanted to homeschool people. And I would teach them because you can learn a lot of things in 30 minutes. You can learn more about someone 30 minutes playing a game than you can when you go to a movie and dinner with them. So I really believed in that. But then the leadership of that changed and they went a different focus, and it was for adults and kids. So I was really disappointed. But I was doing well financially. That was just a side gig because I had just gotten married and moved to a whole nother state. And I was doing that while he was doing his thing. So yeah. And then there's things that I like that work for me. Now, I don't know if you would call it a multi-level marketing, but there's this thing that I really, really love. I don't know if I've talked about that before, but it's called, what's it called? I just deleted the email, but it's a produce company, Misfit Market, and you can get produce sent to you from farmers market places. They just might be a little damaged, like the potato won't be all round. It might be dimply, or something. And if I refer someone, they were doing for a while that your friend gets half a box off, half the price, instead of saying, let's say it's $30. So instead of your friend paying $30, they pay $15 and then you get a $10 credit. It's not multi-level marketing because I'm already getting that subscription service. But when I refer my friends, I save money and they save money. Same with Graze, Graze. Those are snacks like without preservatives. There's nuts and fruits and dried kale, which I really didn't eat. But when I referred people, I would get a discount, like $1 or $2. So I really like those kinds of things. Like I had Snack Crate does not really give you that, but I loved Snack Crate for a while, but I stopped Snack Crate because financially, I have this friend who convinced me that it was too much, and that was somewhere I cut my expenses. So when their prices went up, and with Penny Forward, looking at my thing, like how much I didn't really eat the stuff in them. It was just fun to get the box and make the opening video and get the food from around the world. And there was no benefit when I referred people for me. So there are some subscription services that will hook you up, but I don't think that's multi-level marketing. I don't know what you would call that, but there are things like that are helpful. Like, if I refer you, yes, there's a thing that I do. I could give my information to Mo, and I would love if Mo shared my information for this. I snap receipts. So you go and you snap receipts and you get points, and then you can buy gift cards with them. And it's really easy. And the app is very, very accessible for blind people because I do it and I don't need sighted help. And the app is called Fetch. I was referred by a friend. So I can refer anyone and then I'll get points to get gift cards. So I use Fetch, but it's not a multi-level marketing. I know Mo's loving this fact right now that I'm mentioning my Fetch.
That's not a problem at all. There is a term for that. It's either called referral marketing or affiliate marketing. Affiliate marketing tends to be where you maybe get a special link that you can put on your website. And when people follow that link from your website to wherever you're referring them to, then anything they buy there, you get a percentage of. So that's what that's called. And thank you, Janine. That was a really
that's good though, right?
helpful.
Like,
yeah,
it's not where you have to buy all the stuff, because I agree with Teresa. There was so much paperwork I had to fill out for the board games when I was selling those, and I could see, and it was difficult. And no offense to Nikki, but the essential oil thing costs me so much money. Like, I would buy when things were on sale and I'm like, oh, I'm going to use this. I need this. It's a great deal. So I have extra brand new diffusers. I have lots of oils that are not open and they're not cheap.
No, they're
So
not.
that now I have them and it's like, okay, well, I can put them in my fridge and they last longer. But again, because you have to spend a certain amount to get the free thing.
Right.
So of course I want to spend the $100 to get the free thing. So again, now I'm spending $100 plus, whatever. They didn't have a shipping program. So I ended up spending, $2,000 that year that I didn't need to spend. I could have just bought from friends the few flavors and scents that I would use. So
sure,
that's more economical. So yeah, I think I like the refer a friend marketing where I get something and they get something,
Yeah. Well, thank you, Janine. Appreciate that. Unfortunately, we are out of time. This has been a great discussion. Appreciate everybody being here every month for these really good discussions. Next month is still to be announced. Although we've got some good ideas that we're still throwing around, we just haven't picked one. We haven't landed on one yet. So stay tuned to the blog and so forth to find out what we'll be talking about next month. And we don't have, it doesn't fall on Thanksgiving Day, does it, Mo? Next
I
month?
think it's a 4th or 5 Thursday. So it's the week before.
The week before Thanksgiving. Okay, that's good. That just occurred to me just now.
I did look at that before on the calendar.
Yeah. Anyway, the best way to keep tabs on that is to go to pennyforward.com and grab yourself the Penny Forward app. And the Penny Forward app will let you access the blog, the online courses. It'll give you early access to the podcast, and you'll get notifications of all of these events when we announce them, so that you can keep up to date. And we'll send you an email every week letting you know what's going on. And there's usually a message from me in there and some other things like hot deals we've found and other news that might be of interest to you. And we're still working on bulking up that newsletter a little bit more. If you have any questions, need anything from us, give us a call at 888-332-5558 or send an email to pennyforward@pennyforward.com. Finally, I want to remind you that Penny Forward is a nonprofit organization, and we do rely on donations from people like you in order to keep going. So whether you are a paid member or not, if you know somebody who is able to help us support us financially, either by sending us a one-time donation or setting up a recurring donation once a month or once a week or a couple of times a year, that would really help us out to keep this stuff going. It's not cheap. It's not cheap to keep the app going and the website going and to make sure that all of our content producers and stuff are compensated for their time and their effort. So please take the time to help us out with some donations if or when you're able to. Thanks again for listening and watching, and we'll be back again next month. Good night, everybody.